Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo 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 Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrutyam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devi Saraswati Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraet Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavatim Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Nashtaki. Rantraj Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki jai. Reading Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, 3rd canto, chapter number 22, titled as The Marriage of Kardama Muni and Devahūti. It's a very interesting story of a sage, Kardama Muni, who is doing tapasya in the forest. By the lake Bindu Sarovar, Lord Vishnu appears and Lord Vishnu blesses him. With the blessing of Lord Vishnu, Maharaj Swayambhuva Manu comes to visit Kardama Muni and offer his daughter Devahūti to Kardama Muni in the marriage ceremony. Now, Kardama Muni, as soon as he sees Maharaj Swayambhuva Manu, he glorifies him. And Maharaj Swayambhuva Manu, in return, also glorifies Kardama Muni. And Maharaj Swayambhuva Manu explains about how Kardama Muni, who is a Brahmana, plays very important role in the life of Varnashrama, in the structure of Varnashrama system. Brahmanas are very important. They are supposed to be the head of the society, guiding whole society. Kshatriyas are arms of the society, protecting the whole society. Vaishyas are the one who looks after the cows and looks after the farming and feeds the whole society. And Shudras are the one who serves the society. And Brahmanas are protected by Kshatriyas, and Kshatriyas are guided by Brahmanas. So there is interdependency between the different members of society. And Srila Prabhupada explained it very nicely, that society can work very nicely if everybody cooperates with each other. Further, Maharaj Swayambhuva Manu is glorifying Kardama Muni, and he says in the shloka, Drishtya me bhagavan drishto durdarsho yo akritamanam dishtaya padaraja sprushtam shirshan me bhavata shivam. Maharaj Swayambhuva Manu says to Kardama Muni, it is my great fortune that I have been able to see you, for you cannot easily be seen by persons who have not subdued the mind and controlled the senses. I am all the more fortunate to have touched with my head the blessed dust of your feet. So here, Maharaj Swayambhuva Manu is glorifying Kardama Muni because Kardama Muni is not an ordinary personality. He can only be seen by people who are interested in spiritual enlightenment, those who have subdued their mind and senses. And Maharaj Swayambhuva Manu feels pleasure in taking blessing from Kardama Muni. Srila Prabhupada very nicely explains the glories of the grace of a mahatma or a guru. Here, Swayambhuva Manu gets the blessing of Kardama Muni. So Srila Prabhupada explains the perfection of transcendental life can be achieved simply by touching the holy dust of the lotus feet of holy man, taking the blessing, taking the guidance, following the instructions of a holy man, which is called Mahatma or Guru, is very important. In Bhagavatam, it is said, Mahat Padarajo Abhishekam, which means that to be blessed by the holy dust of the lotus feet of a Mahat, a great devotee. So Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam also glorifies importance of taking blessing from Mahatma or the Guru. As stated in Bhagavad Gita, Mahatmanastu, those who are great souls are under the spell of spiritual energy. And the symptom is that they fully engaged in Krishna consciousness for the service of Lord. So here in Bhagavad Gita, the definition of Mahatma is given. Mahatma or the great souls are those who are under the control of spiritual energy. Now Krishna has two energy. One is material energy and another is spiritual energy. So material energy is called Maya. It's called Mahamaya. And spiritual energy is called as Yoga Maya. So the great souls, they possess or they are under the influence of spiritual energy. So Yoga Maya, which is spiritual energy, brings you closer to Krishna. While Mahamaya, or also called as Durga, under the spell of Mahamaya, one goes away from Krishna. So the Mahatmas, they are under the spell of spiritual energy, that is Yoga Maya, which is Radharani. And under the spell of spiritual energy or Radharani, when they are fully engaged in Krishna consciousness for the service of Lord. So Mahatmas, the definition of Mahatma is that one who is fully engaged in serving Krishna. Therefore, they are called Mahat. They are called as Mahatma. Unless one is fortunate enough to have the dust of the lotus feet of Mahatma on one's head, there is no possibility of perfection in spiritual life. So, unless and until we are guided by, we are instructed by a Mahatma, a Guru, a spiritual master, the success in spiritual life is not possible. Now, to have a dust of lotus feet means the guidance or advice of a Guru. Yes, dust literally means dust also, but dust also means that following the instructions of the spiritual master, taking the advice from the spiritual master. Unless one has this divine guidance, one cannot progress in the spiritual life. The parampara system of disciplic succession is very important as a means for spiritual success. So if you really want to be successful in your life, then one has to follow the parampara. Which means that you have to follow the footsteps of previous acharyas who are successful in their spiritual life. So there are various parampara, various sampradayas. One sampradaya which we follow, parampara which follow, is Brahma, Madhva, Gaudiya Sampradaya, parampara, where it comes from Brahmaji, Lord Krishna gave to Brahmaji to Narada, Narada to Vyas, like that, continuing disciplic succession through Madhavacharya, and then through Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and further parampara to Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Gaur Kishodas Babaji, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj, and Hare Krishna. So, and then coming to Srila Prabhupada. So this parampara system is very important. One becomes a Mahat by the grace of Mahat or spiritual master. If one takes the lotus feet of a great soul, there is every possibility of one becoming a great soul. So here, the importance of a spiritual master is mentioned. If we have a spiritual master, then our success is chances are very high. When Maharaj Rahuguna asked Jad Bharat about his wonderful achievement of spiritual success, he replied to the king that spiritual success is not possible simply by following the rituals of religion or simply by converting oneself into sannyasi or offering sacrifices recommending in the scriptures. So, spiritual success is not possible just by following the rituals. To be successful in the spiritual life, one needs proper advice, proper guidance. People, they follow the rituals, but they do not understand the importance of certain rituals. Unless and until we have understanding, there is no possibility of success. These methods are undoubtedly helpful for the spiritual realization, but the effect is brought about by the grace of Mahatma. Hare Krishna. So, Mahatma is very important here, the guidance of a spiritual master in a disciplic succession. In Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's 8th stanza of prayer to the spiritual master, it is clearly stated that simply by satisfying the spiritual master, one can achieve the supreme success in the life. Yashya prasada bhagavata prasada yashya prasada nagati kutopi dhyayastu vaustasya yashastri sandhyam vande guru shri charanaravindam. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, we sing this prayer every day in the morning. There are 8 stanzas to glorify spiritual master. Sansara dava nalini dhaloka tranaya karunya ghana ghanatvam. So here Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur glorifies the importance of spiritual master. And in that verse, it is clearly mentioned that Yasya Prasada Bhagavat Prasada. If you satisfy, if you please the spiritual master, then it is as good as pleasing Lord Krishna himself. Yasya prasada nagati kutopi. Nagati kutopi means if you cannot please the spiritual master, there is no chance of success in the spiritual life. And in spite of executing all ritualistic performances, if one cannot satisfy the spiritual master, one has no access to the spiritual perfection. You see here, very clearly mentioned by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, that if you do all the rituals, but if you do not follow the instructions of spiritual master, then spiritual master will not be pleased, and if he is not happy, Krishna will not be happy. Here the word Akrat Atmanam is very significant. Atma means body or the soul or the mind, and Akratam, Akratatma means a common man who cannot control senses or the mind. Akratatma means one who is not able to control his mind, body and senses. Because the common man is unable to control the senses and mind, it is his duty to seek the shelter of great soul or a great devotee of Lord just to try to please Krishna. So here Srila Prabhupada ji explaining that common men are not able to control their senses, and hence it is important to take advice from people who are able to control their senses, who are able to guide and advise us. That will make his life perfect. A common man cannot rise to the topmost stage of spiritual perfection simply by following the rituals and religious principles. So many people, they are religious, but being religious is not important. You must have proper guidance, proper advice from the spiritual master. You just cannot go on following something very blindly. One has to take the shelter of a bona fide spiritual master and work under his direction faithfully and sincerely, then he becomes perfect without doubt. So if you have advice from a proper spiritual master, then success is guaranteed. It's a bona fide, Srila Prabhupada ji always using the word bona fide guru, because there are so many bogus gurus who misguide the people. Guru is the one who gives you Krishna. If somebody gives you anything other than Krishna, understand that he is a bogus. Because Guru gives Krishna and Krishna gives Guru. So anything other than that is not a real job of a Guru. So everybody has to take shelter, advice from a mahatma, one who is a spiritual master. So we'll pause here. We'll continue our study of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam tomorrow. Grantaraj Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada.